Welcome to the Game Day Gauntlet, where action hits you in the mouth and the excitement never ceases to amaze. 5 games in 3 hours from action around your league, with surprising opening drive touchdowns like this. Toss it to Evan Wood, and Wood scores a 12-yard touchdown. Today we begin in New Orleans, where the Claws welcome the Rivermen downstream. Buckle up and grab your popcorn. The UFL and the Virtual Football Network proudly present the Game Day Gauntlet. And welcome to Virtual Football Network headquarters. Yeah, we're ready here on the Game Day Gauntlet. I am UFL co-founder Cameron Irvine. We have 5, count them 5, games coming up for you in the next 3 hours. It all kicks off between St. Louis and New Orleans, coming up in mere seconds. Minnesota at Phoenix, both teams trying to get it going. Austin, undefeated, taking on last year's top regular season team, Salt Lake. San Diego, Miami, and Vegas, Wichita, all coming up right here on the Game Day Gauntlet. And it all starts right now. From New Orleans, let's kick it off. Double red for the Claws here today, 1-2, welcoming in the 2-1 Rivermen, who have played a lot of defensive slugfest. Who's going to get to 21st in this one? That's what I want to know. As the Game Day Gauntlet is officially underway, happy to have all of you here. Colin Northrup's in the house, Twiggy, Ray Colston, Michaela Foraker. Who else we got in here? Champion, always retracting his messages. Ray's here. One Mississippi. Justin Reside, all those good, fine people out there. We hope you're having a beautiful Sunday around the United States and around the world. And we are excited for more football. We never get enough football here on VFN. Ron Haynes is here as well. Everybody's got their bingo cards ready to go. And we have kicked off here on the Game Day Gauntlet. Karen Koizumi will take the field first for St. Louis. A St. Louis offense that has struggled to get things moving so far. Dead last in the UFL in yards per game at 248.3. Yes, all of our stats are now up on UFL.football. Some bumps in the road, but mostly all ready to go. 248.3 yards per game for St. Louis. New Orleans is 12th in the league at 356.3 yards per contest. St. Louis has won their last 2 games at home, 14-10 and 14-9. As Koizumi on a 2nd down and 10 starts out of a bunch and then drops it off over the middle to Homer J. First completion for Koizumi. Goes for 13 yards up to the 38-yard line. Rivermen with the blue trim today, with the red pants and red helmets. Koizumi hands it off. Junior McCray, not much running room for the 2nd straight time. Tackle made by Anthony Claiborne of New Orleans. Ray Chapatulis is the one to watch here today. She leads the league in rushing through 3 weeks with 369 yards and 2 touchdowns, an average of 123 yards a game. Only 2 running backs are averaging over 100 yards a game right now. That's Ray Chapatulis and Liam Seitz in Dakota, who we'll see tonight on UFL Coast to Coast in a championship rematch. Mike Daggs and Gerald Smith on that call, as McCray will take a handoff and pick up his first positive yards of the day to set up a 3rd down and 4. Margot's birthday is today. That's awesome, Justin. 3rd down and 4. As Koizumi will float that one up, and it is caught Nathan Blake was trying to wrestle the football away from Daniel Alvarez, who was newly signed last week. But Alvarez comes down with a 37-yard catch down the sideline. Look at Nathan Blake trying to wrestle the football away, but Alvarez able to hold on. Good work by our Gauntlet camera crews here today. And Blake was just lucky enough to hold on.
Here we go.
So St. Louis at the 26-yard line after a contested catch from Alvarez. And a little counter play to Junior McCray, breaks off a tackle, but can't get much more after that. Faisal Woods on the stop for St. Louis. Second down and 6, 8:38 to go in the first quarter. Three receivers off the left. Koizumi dropping to throw and going to the end zone. Oh, wide open had Angel Maldonado, and Karen misfires. 3rd and 6 for St. Louis. That's a missed opportunity there. What is our first bingo number going to be today from 22 yards out? Koizumi dropping to throw and will complete it to McCray out of the backfield. 1st and goal for St. Louis at the 8-yard line on their opening drive. 58 passing yards on this drive for St. Louis, and McCray's goes for 14. 3 teams remain undefeated through the first 3 weeks of the season. Dakota at 3-0, Austin at 3-0. We will see them later today at Salt Lake in a big one in the Western Conference between 2 top 4 teams there. And then the New York Lightning will play on Monday night at 3-0. Koizumi dumps that one off short to Homer J. That gets 4 more yards down to the 4. Koizumi's only miss on this drive was that wide open receiver in the end zone. Mike Churchill is late but has not missed a single point, so are you really that late? Although you did miss an epic intro as always. The handoff goes to McCray. He's going to lose yardage in the backfield. Wrapped up by Trevante Hobbs of New Orleans. 3rd and goal coming up at the 7-yard line. Can New Orleans find a way to get a stop? The Claws lost last week in Chicago, 31-17. 5 runs and 5 passes on the opening drive for Koizumi. And out of the empty, she will fire into the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown, and that is Daniel Alvarez with his 2nd catch of the drive. A 7-yard score, and a pretty normal number off the board first here on the Game Day Gauntlet, as that was Jack Toulouse, who had an opportunity to make a play on the football, ripped Alvarez down right at the goal line, but Daniel able to hold on, and what an opening drive for the St. Louis Rivermen. And that extra point is up and good for St. Louis. St. Louis's defense gives up just 13.7 points per game. The only one that gives up fewer is Dakota at 12 points per game. And that's exactly what the Rivermen was hoping for, or hoping to see out of this offseason. Made a lot of acquisitions, especially to the defensive side of the ball, but really they've made acquisitions around their entire team. Their only loss was to Dakota, and if you ask any St. Louis Rivermen, they'd tell you that that loss was BS and that they should have won. But, you know, hindsight, well, not hindsight really, but, you know, you can't turn back time. And Ron Haynes does not have a 7 on his card. Oh, feels bad. New Orleans on the return. And still on his feet. Going to be wrapped up at the 19-yard line. The quarterback is Emmanuel Blackman, completing 74% of his passes, which is actually best in the UFL. 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 741 passing yards so far this season. And Blackman on a rollout takes off and runs and picks up 6 yards. New Orleans was looking for a deep shot there. They added some more play action into their game plan this week as they're trying to They're trying to open up that St. Louis Rivermen defense. It is very stingy, very stout. New Orleans not necessarily offensively proficient, but when Ray Chapatulis gets going like that, they most certainly are. An 11-yard gain up to the 36-yard line for a Claus first down. No other number besides 7 because it was a 7-yard touchdown, and there's 7 on the board. Come on, people. Oh, but I see what you mean. Maybe you didn't see that it was a 7-yard touchdown. Sorry for being so feisty this afternoon. 5:33 to go in the first quarter. New Orleans off to a pretty good start offensively as well until they move the tight end in motion too late, and New Orleans is going to get a delay of game called. Manuel Blackman says, my bad. 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. Did you know there's 3 quarterbacks in the UFL that have not thrown an interception so far this season? That would be B.K. Solberg of Wichita, Billy Flagg of Dakota, and Shai Ronnie of Austin. First down and 15. The handoff goes to Chapatulis, and immediately she is cut down by Will Todd. Todd, an outstanding defender, is 10th in the league in tackles, 19 solo, 9 assisted so far this season, throwing a sack in there as well. Theodore Blackman of Austin leads the league in total tackles. But Brennan Allen, unclaimed of Minnesota, not a surprise, is first in solo tackles as Blackman on a 2nd down and 14 will dump that one off to Devin Sparks, who joined the team from Denver. So 3rd down and long coming up for New Orleans. The second game of the game day gauntlet today, Minnesota at Phoenix, coming up in about 9 minutes. I'm gonna be calling out stats all day today. I've got all the stats up on my screen. It's so great to have all that up and running this season. Blackman on a 3rd down and 10, trying to keep the drive alive, has to take a crosser check down, and that is not going to be enough for New Orleans. Running out of room on the sideline was Michael Osbury, and New Orleans is going to have to punt on their opening drive. So a pretty decent start to the drive for New Orleans, but they have to punt it away. That was a pretty good punt, but did not get a very good bounce from Brenton. And Karen Koizumi and the Rivermen offense will trot back out there. St. Louis is next to last in scoring at 15 points per game. There was kind of a question coming into the week in the New Orleans locker room of whether or not, is their defense has given up 3 straight games over 30, but is it more the offense struggling, or is it more matchup, or what is the case? And since St. Louis is at the bottom of the scoring in the league, only Rochester scores fewer points, and I think St. Louis just moved. Yeah, that's going to push them back. So a couple of pre-snap penalties in this game already. But the thought was, well, is St. Louis's offense just that poor, or is New Orleans' defense just that poor? We're going to find out today as that pass is dumped off over the middle for Koizumi, but that's not going to get him back to the original line of scrimmage. Central Howes with his first catch of the day. Now it's 3rd down and 11, St. Louis.
Come on, set. 60 outlaw. Hey, check.
A stack over to the bottom of your screen as Koizumi will drop the throw. Oh, he had a man. I thought it was going to be picked off. I think Toulouse went for the interception, and Central Howes, check that, Daniel Alvarez with his 3rd catch for 57 yards in the first quarter. This ball just flew right over the defensive back's head. I don't know what Jack was looking at. I thought that had a chance to be intercepted. That is a missed opportunity there for New Orleans defense. Deshaun Johnson eventually had to make the tackle for New Orleans. Afternoon, Robert. 1st and 10, 2:20 to go in the first quarter as St. Louis is trying to make it 2 for 2 on scoring drives today. McCray, not much room again. New Orleans' run defense has been locking it down. Koizumi out of the gun on a 2nd down and 10. Handoff McCray once more, and once more, New Orleans is there for the stop. Just 9 yards on 7 carries so far for Junior McCray. 100 total yards for the Rivermen in the first quarter. I agree, Ray. You got to whip him into shape. Koizumi on a 3rd and 10, going to take off and run, and gets wrapped up after a pickup of just 2 yards. That tackle made by Griffin Sanders, the defensive end for New Orleans. And the Claws defense gets off the field on the 2nd drive. St. Louis so far this season 2-1. They are hosting Dallas next week on Monday night. That's going to be a big one. And then they've got 3 straight on the road at San Diego, at Chicago, and at Phoenix. They will punt it away. That is a much better punt than what New Orleans achieved. That goes out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Last year at home for St. Louis, they were 7-0 before losing to Motor City on the final week of the season, but they have bounced back with 2 straight home victories. New Orleans playing just their 2nd game at home. They lost the season opener 38-16 to Minnesota here before going on the road and topping Phoenix in a shootout. New Orleans is at Los Angeles next week, followed by Salt Lake and New York, a very tough part of the schedule for New Orleans in the middle of the season, as Ray gets her 3rd carry, picking up 3. Minnesota-Phoenix starts in 5 minutes. I would say that most of our eyes might be glued to Austin and Salt Lake today. 3-0 versus 2-1, a big-time matchup right in the middle of the gauntlet. 2nd down and 7 on a little RPO for Blackman. That's a nice find. Over to Cameron Anthony. And that is the end of the, for Cameron Bailey, rather. That is the end of the first quarter. St. Louis is up on New Orleans 7-0. Third down and 1, just 1 number off the board, and Ray is dropped in the backfield by Robert Brady Jr. And of course, we expect many more numbers to come. Just a bit of a slow start here, as it always is, but we ramp it up, and in about an hour or so, we're really going to be cooking with gas. So New Orleans on a 3rd down and 1, handed it off to Ray Chapatulis. I don't blame him. But St. Louis comes up with a TFL stop in the backfield, and New Orleans will have to punt on their 2nd possession. That one goes into the corner, and Maldonado on the return up to the New Orleans 44. So excellent field position coming up for St. Louis. Karen Koizumi going to take off and run. Had to spin back inside. Beautifully done. Oh, the defender fell over. And Koizumi gets a 1st down to the New Orleans 28-yard line. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. The defender in the open field. I didn't see a juke. Just kind of slipped and fell. Let's watch the replay again. This guy right here. Oh, he got tripped. He got tripped by Junior McCray. Where's the tripping penalty? Wow, that was some gamesmanship there from McCray. They faked the end around, and McCray is dropped in the backfield for a loss. Maybe a little bit of revenge there for New Orleans. Cody Rogers making the stop in the backfield. Second down and 12 coming up. Both run games have struggled so far today. Junior McCray is 9th in the league in rushing, 84 per game. It's another handoff there. That's actually to Ray Wright. to set up a 3rd down and 9. The countdown is on. Minnesota and Phoenix kicking off momentarily from Arizona. 12 runs, 8 passes. St. Louis has dominated time of possession here in the first half. Prezumi dumps that off out of the backfield, and McCray took a shot. Antoine Brandon comes up and sticks him at the 25-yard line. 4th down for St. Louis. That means a 42-yard field goal is coming up for the Rivermen. ...42-yard kick for St. Louis to make it 10-0. And that kick from 42 yards out is good. 10 and 42 off the board. And those 40s are hard to come by, so if you have a 42 there, you're liking that early on here on the Gauntlet. Sansbino's in the chat. This is the week the Skyhawks take off. Let's go. Maybe so. Minnesota's defense has been stingy. Very good so far this season. They give up 24 points a game, but Dakota was part of that. Here we go. Welcome to Phoenix. As the Gauntlet hits the double box. Ron Haynes has a 42. Let's go. Champion cheering on Dallas tonight. They take on Dakota in the championship rematch. Phoenix getting hyped. Back at home hosting Minnesota. Trying to break that 0-3 mark. Only Phoenix and Rochester are winless through 3 weeks in the UFL season. Devon Simeon's in the house. Joey Duncan with that last tackle for St. Louis's defense. They're going to hand it off to Chapatulis, and again, Chapatulis is dragged down in the backfield, just 14 yards on her first 6 carries. 3rd down and 10. Coming up for New Orleans. Phoenix in the all blues today with the orange lids. All whites for Minnesota and the gold helmets. And we are underway in Phoenix. Play action, Emmanuel Blackman, and that works out. 1st down for New Orleans. Blackman is 4 for 4 for 25 yards. That pass caught by Dylan Gameday, the tight end by way of Denver. In free agency, Doug Falk takes over for Minnesota, and he almost threw that right to Phoenix on the opening play. Doug Falk so far this season, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 764 yards. Completing 65% of his passes. He's the 12th most efficient quarterback in the league. Pump fake for Blackman. He's going to complete another ball up the sideline for 6 yards. Will Todd makes the tackle in the flat. Hand off to Rob Noel. Can't get going. Noel decked in the backfield. A loss of 2 yards. That's Tyler Pryor coming up to make the TFL hit on Rob Noel. The Minnesota rushing attack against Miami was abysmal. And they hope to make that improve today. They also want to get Michael Joseph, the tight end, involved a little more. Tyler Falk getting a lot of targets, and sometimes unnecessarily so, to the detriment of the offense. 3rd down and 12. This is not near Tyler Falk, and Michael Joseph is not anywhere near the 1st down. What a mess of an opening drive for Minnesota. A 3-yard loss on that play. Watts makes the tackle, and Minnesota will have to punt it away. Corner Vinny Zonka making her debut today in the Phoenix secondary. You'll see her wearing number 28. Yeah, Joseph, that was just a bad ball. And Tyler Falk, maybe if I actually watch me play live, I might actually do something. Not off to a great start there, Tyler. Unfortunately, that theory, at least through the first minute and 6 seconds, has proven to be fruitless. First down for New Orleans coming up. 5:38 to go in the first half. That game continues to be a defensive one, although New Orleans is on the move, nearing scoring position. Okay, Joe Tillo, folks, 8 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. No other quarterback in the league has more than 5 interceptions, but Tillo's 8 touchdowns is second most in the league. So it's not like Tillo has had a horrific season, but the turnovers have killed Phoenix. Will this be the week that Tillo cleans it up and gets it together? That pass is incomplete, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That was D.R. Simeon. This week, Phoenix worked on getting rid of all the routes that just were stagnant. Joe Tillo was just making poor decisions with everybody stagnant, and when you've got a talented group like Chris Andrews and Mateus Sansbino and Anthony Sands and D.R. Simeon, you got to keep them on the move. So we'll see how it works out for Phoenix's offense today. 2nd and 22 for New Orleans after a Blackman sack. Handoff to Ray Chapatulis as Simeon also gets a carry. And Chapatulis is up to 9 carries in the first half, but a 3rd down and 15 coming up for New Orleans, who are still being shut out right now against St. Louis. I do have a little bit of a do going on today. Thank you for noticing, Charles. Blackman's pass is incomplete. 3rd down and 15. And New Orleans going to come up empty again, although they could kick a 51-yard field goal. That would be your over 50 hitting on the winning numbers. 3rd down and 5 for Joe Tillo. Can Phoenix keep the drive going? They can. Chris Andrews to the sideline. 1st down for a pickup of 12. Tillo's first completion of the day. New Orleans will kick a 51-yard field goal, and it is a knuckler and short. Ugly kick there from New Orleans. That was not what they wanted. And St. Louis will take over, up 10-0. New Orleans offense has not figured out the Rivermen just yet. A very difficult defense. Tough matchup today for New Orleans as Tillo will drop the throw, and a hospital pass over to Mateus Sansbino is incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Koizumi hits Homer J. 1st down to the 48-yard line of New Orleans. And once again, St. Louis enters New Orleans territory. Koizumi's 9 of 10 for 104 yards. Simeon is trying to look for a hole, couldn't find anything, and no gain on the play. Koizumi has the fewest passing yards in the league this season, 417 yards. But what's more surprising is she's completing just 55.7% of her passes. A great start so far today. 9 for 10. Tillo trying to set up a screen on 3rd down and 10, but instead of throwing a pick, just throws it into the dirt, nothing open, and Phoenix's first drive comes up empty. Come on, guys. We need bingo numbers here. Phoenix punts it away. That's a punt that goes out of bounds at about the 21. Not great. Fake the draw. Koizumi's got a lot of time. Now going to take off and run. Look at all the space for Karen Koizumi. 31 yards on 3 carries. That's another St. Louis first down. Matt Wilson leads all quarterbacks in rushing yards so far this season with 211 yards. Zach Holdorf right behind him at 177. Rob Noel gets a carry, and again, Phoenix pushes him back. Koizumi's got 110 yards on 14 carries coming into the ball game, and Shai Rani 77 yards on 5 carries. DJ Woods asks, is LA on another coast-to-coast broadcasting? Los Angeles, check my schedule. Yes, you play Chicago tonight on Coast to Coast. Kickoff 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Chicago time. I just posted a schedule in your locker room, DJ. Check it out. 2 for 3 for 21 yards. Isaiah Moody as Doug Falk makes it happen. Koizumi's 10 of 11 now. 3rd down and 3 coming up at the New Orleans 20-yard line. Kickoff between Austin and Salt Lake coming up in about 11 minutes time. 3rd down and 3 for Koizumi. Koizumi throws over the middle. That is caught at the 6-yard line. 11 of 12 now for Karen Koizumi, and that's Central House's second catch, 1st and goal at the 6. St. Louis trying to take a 3-score lead before the half. Wide open Minnesota is down the field. That is Isaiah Moody again. 1st down for Minnesota to the Phoenix 22-yard line with 7:53 to go in the first quarter. Champion asks, how can I mod my Madden 20 to be like this? Well, it took us about 5 years to complete this mod, so we wish you all the best of luck, good sir.
On the double.
But you know what? That you don't have to mod your Madden, because then you get our Madden. You get to watch our Madden. You get to watch our amazing situational AI code as Doug Falk throws that to the sideline. That's a 4-yard touchdown for St. Louis. Angel Maldonado on a little slant. 4 is off the board.
Set, ready? 18 Gator. 3 on 3. Put up. 16-0 St. Louis. Maldonado and Alvarez with passing touchdowns from Karen Koizumi. She had 3 in her first 3 games and has 2 here in the first half. 17 is also off the board as St. Louis takes a commanding 17-0 lead on the road in St. Louis. Falk's pass is incomplete. Double teamed out of the back of the end zone. It's going to be 4th down for Minnesota. So a 35-yard field goal coming up for the Chippers. That would take 35 and 3 off the board. I just like to hear you answer questions. Thank you for. I don't have enough work, DJ, so please keep firing questions at me. The goalpost cannot be bent. The 35-yard field goal is good for Minnesota. So 35-3, 4 and 17 off the board. So 7 called numbers so far. And Minnesota's got our first points with 6:18 to go. First down and 10 for New Orleans. Ray Chapatulas has got to get it going. 10 carries, 40 yards. Will Todd's 3rd tackle. And New Orleans going no huddle. They still have 3 timeouts left. Good kick return there from Phoenix up to start beyond the 30. Blackman is going to be sacked in the backfield. That is Thomas with the takedown. His 2nd sack already today. And I think New Orleans is just going to let this first half expire and limp into the locker room down 17-0. Handoff, DJ Simeon will pick up 1 yard, 6 yards on 3 carries so far. Third down and 18 for New Orleans on the final play of the half. Simeon is crushed, and Blackman throws it deep, but nobody's home. Just 31 passing yards in the first half. And that ends a miserable first half for New Orleans. No turnovers or anything like that, but St. Louis has 2 passing touchdowns. And look at that. Just 9 total passing yards for New Orleans when you account for the sacks. St. Louis's defense is a bear. Third down and 10 for Joe Tillo and the Skyhawks, and that pass is thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Tillo no picks on the first 2 drives, but he started 1 of 5 for 12 yards. Kilowatts, appreciate that. The 2 best leagues around, SFL and UFL. I could not agree more. Skip wondering what is going on with her bingo card. I don't know, but they're making it a little tough on y'all so far. 7 called numbers, but
Austin and Salt Lake hoping to change that. They kick off in about 6 minutes as Phoenix's punt will just barely scoot into the end zone. So 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Minnesota takes back over 3-0 over the Skyhawks.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Block 54. Hey man. Watch the booth. Ready.
This is Doug Falk firing it short. 5 of 7 for 52. He's certainly not looking Falk's way constantly, but Michael Joseph now -2 yards on his first 2 catches. Got to get the ball pushed down the field. 2nd down and 9 for the Chippers. 4.5 to go in the first quarter. Hand off to Rob Noel. Finally some space for Noel to run through, picking up 7 yards. 3rd down and 2 coming up for Minnesota. A completely unbiased opinion. Cameron Bailey with the catch for New Orleans as they try to get something moving here in the 3rd quarter. Play fake, 3rd down and 2. Doug Falk fires up the field and it's incomplete. What a hit. What a hit for Phoenix. That was Adam Watts crushing Michael Joseph, and it's 4th down again for Minnesota. A surprising, I guess Minnesota playing more their game than Phoenix, but I would have thought we would have seen some more points out of Phoenix and Minnesota up to this point. It still is early, though. 3:51 to go in the first quarter. Emmanuel Blackman dumps that outside, and Cameron Bailey gets up to the 50-yard line. 1st down, New Orleans. Joe Tillo, no picks. That's good news, but he has just 1 completion. What can he do now with pretty good field position at his own 39-yard line? New Orleans is making a push here. They're at midfield with a fresh set of downs. Blackman over the middle. That is caught for a gain of 5. Tillo, deep shot down the sideline, and he threw it out of bounds. Double covered. Ooh, the Arch Angels. I love that, Anthony. That is a very sharp nickname. 54 of you watching the Game Day Gauntlet right now, and we appreciate you being here. We are just getting rolling here on a Sunday afternoon, and if you want more information on the UFL, visit UFL, that's YOUFL.football. We got 5 games coming up this afternoon, and then UFL Coast to Coast is really good tonight. LA, Chicago, 2 big markets. Chicago coming off a victory, welcoming in the Aztecs into town, and then a championship rematch between Dallas and Dakota. Should be epic as Blackman's got a 1st down up to the 33-yard line of St. Louis, and the Claws are really putting it together in this first half. In this second half. Meanwhile, Joe Tillo takes a sack. Darius Alian by way of Washington in free agency. His build is still available to be claimed at UFL.football, and he picks up a safety sack on Tillo, and Phoenix's offense is stuck in mud. 1st down for New Orleans with 8:35 to go in the 3rd quarter at the St. Louis 33-yard line. Blackman fires over the middle, caught. Devin Sparks to the 18. Blackman's 10 of 12 for 82 yards. This has been some great second half adjustments from the Claws. Good punt from Phoenix will pin Minnesota down inside the 5-yard line. You know, I think we need a bonus number because we have just struggled to get some scoring. How about today's date? 19. 19 is a bonus number, a rare Gauntlet bonus number. As Blackman from the 18-yard line drops to throw and gets it to the 9. Hand off to Rob Noel for Minnesota. His best run of the day. Noel picks up 10 yards. 5 carries for 21 yards, and the Chippers have a 1st down. Austin and Salt Lake's countdown about to begin, about 2 minutes away from kickoff between 2 of the top teams in the league so far this season. Ray Chapatulis fighting forward, does have a 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Here we go.
73-8 in total yards. Minnesota on top of Phoenix right now. A little RPO, that is complete. Another 1st down for Minnesota, picking up 10. 6 of 9 for 62 yards for Doug Falk, and that's Moody's 3rd catch. He has been dominant today
for Phoenix, opposite of Vinny Zonka, who is in charge with covering Tyler Falk most of the day, who's been quiet. First and goal at the 6. Little read option from Blackman, but he's going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Doug Falk looking to throw, and he is going to be sacked. Phoenix with the takedown. That's big number 93, Jonathan Holmes. 2nd and 16 after a loss of 6. Second down and goal at the 6-yard line for New Orleans. Looking for their first points of the day, and Ray gets down to the 1-yard line. Third and goal at the 1. Can New Orleans finally get some points on the board? They're already halfway through the third quarter in a very fast-moving game. Blackman is going to throw into the end zone, into triple coverage, and that pass is incomplete. Now it's 4th down. I don't like the play call there. And then I think Phoenix just grabbed a face mask, so that's going to be a Minnesota first down. Yeah, that's a very impossible throw to complete. Just give it to Ray at the 1-yard line. Robert Brady Jr. got a paw in there. He's been great on third down today. We'll see what New Orleans decides to do at 4th and goal from the 1. They're going to take the points. That means that'll be an 18-yard field goal for New Orleans. And that 18-yard field goal is up and good. So 18 is off the board for New Orleans. And we are about to get underway in our third game of the day. That's Austin and Salt Lake. As Doug Falk is going to be dropped in the backfield. That's Lynch with a sack for Phoenix, and it's now 3rd down and 20 for Minnesota. They're going backwards as that game nears the end of the first quarter. Salt Lake in their black and yellow, Austin in the all-whites with the black lids today, hoping to keep their undefeated season alive. New Orleans fresh off the field goal. On the board, making it 17-3. They need a stop. End of the first quarter in Phoenix, and we are underway in Salt Lake. We now have the triple box on the game day gauntlet. Salt Lake will start with the football first today. We mentioned already in the program that Theodore Blackman leads the league in tackles. Jay Carter, so far this season, is 7th in the league in passing. As Chris Allure is going to get the carry. Allure is going to pick up 10 yards for a Salt Lake first down. 3rd down and 20 for Doug Falk. He's going to let it rip, and Falk's pass is incomplete. More good defense from Phoenix, and another punt coming up for Minnesota. 920 yards, 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions for Jay Carter so far this season. And his number 1 weapon is Mia Pangori, who is 5th in the league in receiving yards per game at 104.3. She has 2 touchdowns. Mike Churchill has the most touchdowns in the UFL this season with 5. Freddie Grady had 4 for Dallas, but it's not Freddie Grady anymore. It's Miles Savage. Another pickup, user pickup for Dallas as they build momentum for their game tonight against Dakota in that championship rematch. 17-3 St. Louis on top of New Orleans, and the Claws had a chance to get off the field, but they failed to do so on 3rd down. Nathan Blake makes the tackle on Homer Jay, but Jay's been killing him over the middle, and St. Louis will get a fresh set. Phoenix now starts, I believe, their 4th possession on their own 17-yard line. A 3-0 slugfest over there in Phoenix as Tillo takes the check down to Simeon. Jay's got a first down again for St. Louis. Karen Koizumi, 16 of 17 passing, 157 total passing yards for St. Louis, and Homer Jay's got 6 grabs for 61 yards. Joe Tillo dropping a throw on a 2nd down and 10. That pass is complete. An early 3rd down and 8 for Salt Lake. Jay Carter dropping a throw. He flips that one over the middle, and that is incomplete on his first pass attempt. Sauce K was the intended target, and Austin gets a defensive stop on their opening possession. Let's go to
New Orleans, where it's 2nd and 4. St. Louis is the only team that is across midfield. Let's double up that 19 and go 38 for our next bonus number. Can't be putting those bonus numbers on the screen. What am I doing? What are you doing, Cameron? Fourth and 4. That Daniel Alvarez with the catch, but Jack Toulouse with the stop for New Orleans. You can see the replay there in the upper left-hand corner. Deep shot for Austin. That is Mike Churchill. First down. We just mentioned him. He just picked up 30 yards. Churchill leads the league in touchdowns with 5 on just 14 receptions. Churchill, surprisingly, is just 21st in the league in yards. St. Louis just kicked a field goal. I didn't think that they had the leg on that. Wow, that was a 53-yard boot from St. Louis, and they answer the New Orleans field goal with one of their own. So 20 and over 50 are off the board. And let's go to Phoenix now, where Joe Tillo and the offense are crossing the 25-yard line. Andy Sands with the catch. Tillo is heating up now. 6 of 11. He's completed 5 straight passes down to the Minnesota 22-yard line. So disappointing result there for New Orleans. They get the field goal on the last drive. 3rd and goal from the 1, had a chance to run it. They didn't. Then 4th and goal from the 1, they had a chance to go for it and didn't. They took the points, but then they gave up 3 points on the other end. And so now they're right back down 17 towards the end of the 3rd quarter, as that is a first down run for Wells. Austin on a 3rd down and 6, fires. Oh, it's caught, but they mark him down at the 1. Mike Churchill was robbed. A 43-yard reception down at the 1-yard line. Trevante James saved a touchdown. Phoenix has a score from 12 yards out. What a catch from Mike Churchill. I think he's in the end zone. 12-yard score, Matthias Sansbino, and Phoenix takes the lead. A very close call for Mike Churchill. There's not going to be a review or a challenge, as Sansbino was also just across the line. And from 1 yard out, Shai Ronnie with a play-action roll and is going to be sacked for a loss of 6. Joe Malone with the takedown. Just run the ball, people. 12 is off the board. If you had a 44, you are feeling real sad. Karen Koizumi, 18 of 19, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. And New Orleans actually just turned the football over. Getting another look at that one as Junior McCray takes it for a first down, and St. Louis is starting to run away with this thing. Oh yeah, Blackman just threw that in a double coverage. That was totally unnecessary. As Mike Woodstone gets a carry for Austin, but he's going to be 5 yards short of the end zone. So it was a 1st and goal at the 1. I thought it was a touchdown for Austin, but it's a 3rd down and goal now at the 5-yard line for Shai Ronnie. Ronnie to throw, 3rd and goal, nearly intercepted. And Salt Lake comes away with a stop. It looks like 22 may be the next number to come off the board, as a field goal is coming up here for Austin. St. Louis is flexing their muscles here, but they're going to reach the end of the 3rd quarter very quickly in this one. New Orleans just has not been able to build any kind of momentum. 22-yard field goal for Austin is up and good. And so 22 is that next number off the board. We're getting a nice spread here so far today on the Gauntlet. Coming up next, Miami and San Diego, two teams shaken off. Tough losses in prime time last week. Kickoff is in about 11 minutes. As Doug Falk going to take off and run, he's gonna get away on a 2nd down and 9, and I believe he's going to be 1 yard short of the first down. So we'll go to 3rd down and 1. Actually, we'll go to 3rd down and 6 for St. Louis. It'd be a 48-yard field goal from here. They're going to hand it off to McCray, and he's going to pick up the first. 3rd down and 1, Rob Noel picks up the first for Minnesota. So the Minnesota and St. Louis drives continue. Claiborne with the tackle, his 3rd. Salt Lake on their 2nd possession will try again. Jay Carter 0 for 1 on the first.
Ready to break. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
21 runs, 19 passes, 41st offensive play of the day for St. Louis. Handoff to McCray. McCray inside the 20 and down to the 11-yard line. Michael Turillo and Eric Vincent have the call from Chicago, the first game of Coast to Coast. We mentioned that Mike Daggs and Gerald Smith have the championship rematch call between Dakota and Dallas tonight. Handoff to Chris Allure, tried to cut it back left, and Austin's all over that. Rob Noel's getting stuffed in the backfield, so now it's 3rd and long for Minnesota. A 1st down and 10 for St. Louis inside the red zone. McCray, he tried to shove over it. That would have been an 11-yard score, but McCray gets down to the 1. We've had 2 opportunities for 1 to hit. Look at Jay Carter lofting that one, but that's incomplete on 3rd down and 6. And Salt Lake has started 0 for 2 passing, back-to-back 3-and-outs for the Hornets. And they're going to have to punt again. A very slow start for Salt Lake today, as Pangoria was the intended target. Will the number 1 finally hit here? 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Handoff McCray, and he's stuffed. Does not pick up the touchdown. 2nd and goal coming up at the 1 for St. Louis as New Orleans tries to bow up here. Austin will start from their own 12-yard line. 2nd and goal at the 1 for St. Louis. McCray has dropped a 3-yard loss. Now it's 3rd and goal, back at the 4. Shembo with the stop. Austin, fresh set of downs here. And not much room there for Nico right way on the outside. Now it's 3rd down and goal at the 4 for St. Louis, and 4 is already hit. Karen Koizumi dropping a throw, fires on a little slant, and again from 4 yards out, St. Louis hits Angel Maldonado for his 2nd receiving touchdown of the day. Deep shot for Austin is knocked away. Maldonado's just won on that slant twice. And it's a rout in New Orleans, unfortunately, for the Claws. All right, 3rd down and 5 for Austin. A 3-0 Lone Stars lead with 4:33 to go in the first quarter. A screen pass over to Mike Woodstone. Woodstone's got a 1st down. Good play call there. All right, so 4, which already hit, and 27 is now off the board. 27, a new number. .326 to go in the first half. Phoenix has the football up 7-3. Tillo's out of the shotgun on a 3rd down and short. Hits Sansbino over the middle for a 1st down. Tillo was 1 of 6. He has completed his 8 straight passes as Sansbino picks up his 3rd catch. Rollout, Shai Ronnie, and that pass is complete for a 1st down. Austin's to the Salt Lake 45-yard line. That's Mike Churchill again. And Karen Koizumi has more touchdowns today, or the same amount of touchdowns today as she had in the first 3 games of the season combined. Now up to 6 touchdowns for Koizumi. Shirani leads the league with 10. Sansbino getting jostled around out there, but he does pick up 8 yards on the play. Alian on the tackle. Let's go to Salt Lake. First down and 10. Mike Woodstone is in Hornet territory. 3:15 to go in the first quarter. He's wrestled down pretty quickly. 2nd and 2 for Joe Tillo. He again finds DJ Simeon out of the backfield on a check down. DJ Simeon's got 4 grabs, but for just 9 yards. But he is giving Tillo that sort of safety net, that safety blanket. No mistakes from Tillo in the first half. Christian Malley just joined the Discord server. Welcome, Christian. As Blackman drops to throw, that pass is complete for an 8-yard gain. New Orleans down by 3 scores as Austin faces a 3rd down and 8. And it's incomplete. Could not drag the feet. That was Churchill who somehow got wide open, and for the moment, it's a 4th down for Austin. New Orleans needs 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions with 8 minutes to go. The Claws are in the no huddle. Tillo again, dumping that one over the middle, picking up 4. 3rd down and 1 with 1:45 to go. So Phoenix now in or approaching some no huddle. Austin's going to have to punt. That one hangs up in the air and down at the 17-yard line. That's where Salt Lake will take over. Blackman takes a shot and is sacked in the backfield. Mike Rodick with the takedown. Your sack leader this season is Rip Cuby in Miami so far. But Mike Rodick just got his 4th on that one. 2nd down and 17. That ball is incomplete from New Orleans, and that's another 1st down for Phoenix. Finally, Jay Carter has a completion. With 2 minutes to go in the quarter, it goes for 3 yards. That is Moses Hill with the catch. San Diego, Miami kicking off the quad box in about 4 minutes. Emmanuel Blackman on a 3rd down and long. It's 4-down territory. Got 14 of the 17 needed. Colin Douglas on the tackle. As Carter's pass is incomplete. 3rd down and 7. Let's go back to Phoenix as Tillo with 1:25 to go in the first half has Phoenix in Minnesota territory. They try a draw, and Randy Tremaine, unclaimed but brilliant linebacker in Minnesota, all over that. 1:13 and counting for Phoenix. 4th and 3. New Orleans has got to go. 6:55 to go in the first quarter. Mia Pangori with her first catch of the day. Blackman on a 4th down and 3. Will fire to the sideline. That is caught. 1st down, New Orleans. The drive stays alive. 2nd and 12 for Tillo. Going to throw to the sideline. That is complete to the 26. Stopping the clock with 1:02 to go. Chris Andrews with the catch. 1st down for Blackman in the no huddle. Great pocket for Blackman. Can't find anybody open. And look at St. Louis. Eventually, it just completely broke down. And Antonio Flash gets the sack in the backfield, a loss of 14. It's corn time in Miami, says Zach in the chat. 25 seconds to go in the first quarter in a surprisingly defensive game in Salt Lake. 3-0 Lone Stars on top of the Hornets. Joe Tillo with 1 minute to go. Dumps it off over the middle. Down to the 20-yard line. Phoenix does not want to score too quickly. Holding on to those 3 timeouts right now. New Orleans needs to score very quickly. Again, Blackman is looking for someone to get open. Fires down the field, through an interception. Picked off St. Louis. Going the other way. That is a return. Tillo's going to be sacked. That is a pick 6 return for St. Louis. 34-3 coming up, and for St. Louis, that pass is intercepted by Joey Duncan II, and New Orleans may just have the biggest round of the season, threw it right to him. That's an over 50 pick 6 for St. Louis. Phoenix has a 3rd down and 11 at the Minnesota 27-yard line. 35 seconds to go and 3 timeouts. Tillo's pass is intercepted. The first mistake of the day for Phoenix's quarterback, and again, the turnovers come back to bite Phoenix with 28 seconds to go in the half. Morton with the takeaway. 34 is potentially your next number as Blackman throws his second interception of the day. The extra point is good for St. Louis. 34 is your next official number off the board. And St. Louis has just dominated the New Orleans Claws today. A very disappointing effort by New Orleans, who is falling to 1-3. St. Louis going to 3-1. Only 3 teams in the East right now above 500. St. Louis, Miami, and New York. Miami is set to kick off in 1 minute against San Diego. So off the interception, Doug Falk almost threw one of his own. He's just 7 of 13. And it's 2nd down and 10. Let's go back to Salt Lake, where it's 3rd and 13 for Shy Ronnie and the Austin Lone Stars. And finding Mike Churchill over the middle of the field. Gets it down to the 32-yard line, a pickup of 22. He is so dynamic. Doug Falk to the sideline, way overthrew his intended target. Now 20 seconds to go in the first half over there. Emmanuel Blackman, 17 of 24 for 159 yards, no touchdowns and 2 picks. Tough day at the office for New Orleans all around with 5:31 to go. Pass over the middle is complete for Minnesota. They will call a timeout. They're first with 15 seconds to go.
Ready. 55, Mike, 55. Hey, eat. Stay with your man.
What's up, Jack? We are about to enter the quad box as Woodstone gets that carry. New Orleans is up into the red zone. And here we go. Miami and San Diego kicking off. The quad box is upon us. That means keep an eye on your bingo numbers. So you have to get those off the screen. Too much stuff, too much action, too much football. Emmanuel Blackman from 8 yards out. That pass is incomplete as New Orleans looks for their first score of the day. Rob Crone waving hi to the loyal fans in Miami. Good weather today in Florida. Doug Falk gonna let it rip with 5 seconds to go. One-on-one ball. Oh, one-handed. Go! He couldn't bring it in. Isaiah Moody had the opportunity. Now it's 3rd and goal at the 4 for New Orleans with 4:48 to go in the 4th. Maybe Doug Falk tries another one of those. That was almost complete. Would have given Minnesota a halftime lead. Instead, just a quick slant. And that is incomplete. Tyler Falk has been completely shut down. That hit the helmet of a New Orleans Claw receiver. Emmanuel Blackman's got to be beside himself. 4th and goal at the 4. And we've hit halftime in Phoenix 7-3. Phoenix on top. San Diego and Miami have kicked off, and it is the Wildcats getting the football first. 3rd down and 8. Shy Ronnie is going to be taken down and sacked by Harris. And New Orleans just booted a field goal through. That's from 21 yards out. That's the first time 21 is hit today. 21 and 6 hit. So 2 new numbers off that New Orleans field goal. 21 and 6, your most recent bingo numbers. $34-6. St. Louis all over New Orleans. That game is just about over with 4:31 to go in the 4th quarter. 7-3. Phoenix and Minnesota at the half. 3-0. Austin on top of Salt Lake, and the Hornets just got another stop. Their defense has been terrific today. And San Diego and Miami just getting underway. It's a 3rd down and 1 for the Cats, who have the light blue helmets and the dark blue pants today. The traditional teal and white for Miami. What a great ball down the sideline for San Diego. All the way to the Miami 23-yard line. A 46-yard run for Kyron Rucker on the little bubble screen for San Diego. Beautiful play down the sideline. Joe Tillo, 16 of 22, 126 yards. Jay Carter's pass is incomplete. Phoenix gets the ball to start the second half, up 7-3. New Orleans has the football back again, and Chris Andrews has another catch for Tillo over the middle.
His third catch for a first down. San Diego, play fake. Holdorf fires, end zone, and just overthrew his intended target. Chris Allure is on the run, picking up 16 yards and a first down for Salt Lake. And New Orleans just threw another interception. Colin Douglas taking it back the other way, breaking a tackle. Got a block down the sideline. Douglas, and he's tackled by Blackman at the 3. Colin Douglas, nearly another pick six for St. Louis. They got a first and goal at the 3-yard line. And that's a touchdown for Zach Holdorf for San Diego. Holdorf on the scramble on San Diego's opening possession. 23 yards away. He left no doubt. And 23 is now off the board. The 20s are hitting today. Extra point is good for San Diego. DJ Simeon gets a block. Simeon after a couple of jukes. DJ Simeon is gone. 59 yards. Touchdown, Phoenix. And yeah, I do believe the Claws did recover an onside kick, which is what got him the football again. First and goal at the 3 coming up, but how about DJ Simeon, 59-yard touchdown run, and Junior McCray just scored again. A 40-burger for St. Louis, and you know what? Maybe it was New Orleans defense that's the problem. They've now given up over 30 points 4 straight weeks. The Claws need an answer defensively. For Phoenix, that 59-yard run was the 6th longest run by any player this season in the UFL, and Phoenix takes a 14-3 lead. So that's another over 50 hitting, but 14 has now hit. 41 has now hit as St. Louis is now up 41-6 on the New Orleans Claws. Bullet Beletsky and Miami have their first offensive possession after San Diego made quick work of them. St. Louis last season, they scored 43 points as Sauce K gets the ball down to the Austin 23-yard line. 43 points was their most. So far this season, 41 is tied for 4th most in the league. And let's go to, we're going to keep it in Salt Lake as the Hornets are on the move. Bullet Beletsky playing right now has the league's longest run this season of 84 yards. And that pass for Salt Lake is caught down to the 6-yard line. Jay Carter now 6 of 11, first and goal for Salt Lake, who have been shut out up to this point, but have a chance to take the lead on the undefeated Austin Lone Stars. I don't know, Anthony. I think the consensus now, as Rob Noel picks up a couple of great blocks, first down Minnesota, his best run of the day, picks up 18 yards. The New Orleans defense needs some help coming into their game next week for sure. I think that's where the focus is going to be. Although the offense wasn't terrific today, St. Louis's defense we know is one of the best in the league. First and goal at the 6-yard line for Salt Lake. Can they punch it in and get their first points of the day? That run goes for no gain. Rob Crone dropping a throw. Miami's in the red zone on their opening possession. We'll go there with the audio shortly, as that's Bovine Jr. with the catch. Second and goal at the 6-yard line for Salt Lake. The handoff to Chris Allure, and he scores from 6 yards out. Touchdown Hornets, and Salt Lake takes the lead over unbeaten Austin. New Orleans is once again into the red zone down to the 7-yard line. 252 passing yards today for Blackman. Doug Falk dropping a throw. And Falk's pass to the sideline. Oh my goodness, that was caught in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Second and goal coming up for New Orleans. Their red zone offense has also been pretty bad. Look at this upper right-hand corner. Oh, did Michael Joseph tap the second foot?
That is close. And we're going to get a challenge from Phoenix. Keep an eye on the upper right-hand corner. Meanwhile, Manuel Blackman from 5 yards out. Touchdown, Claus. Pass is hauled in by Mikey Elliott, of all people, for New Orleans. So that is a 5-yard score, and that call was overturned. Michael Joseph did not get his feet in.
Here we go.
So 5 is the next official number off the board.
Let's go, D.
Doug Falk's taking a deep shot to his son Tyler down the sideline. Oh, he didn't catch that? Now that looked like a catch too. Upper right-hand corner. Watch Tyler Falk here on the sideline. Oh, his keister went out of bounds. Oh, that is just an incredible catch. But he couldn't hold on. Miami is forced to kick a field goal. This will be from 30 yards out. And now 30 has hit off the bingo cards. We'll have your updated numbers at the conclusion of St. Louis and New Orleans as the deep shot from Austin. Oh, wide open, and Austin can't convert. That would have been a 73-yard strike. Tillo takes back over, 17-23, $144, a touchdown and a pick for Phoenix today. Shai Ronnie's got a first down for Austin, converts the third down. Karen Koizumi today, just one incompletion, 19 of 20 for 165 yards, 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Phoenix has a second down and 2. San Diego's kicking off. St. Louis is kind of running out the clock. There won't be kneel downs, as Annie Beaverhausen with that last catch. There won't be kneel downs because New Orleans is essentially in give-up mode, so they're not calling timeouts. In Madden code, kneels are prompted by how many timeouts are left, so you're just going to see them run that normal offense. 2-minute warning as Salt Lake is... it's not necessarily a surprise they're up on Austin 7-3. It's the fact that it's 7-3 and that Austin only has 3 points. Payne Price has a first down for San Diego. So far this season, Austin is the #1 scoring offense in the league at 37.3 points per game. Mike Churchill breaks a tackle and gets to the 39-yard line of Salt Lake. He has been an absolute menace today. He has been the Austin offense. 5 catches for 150 yards. Churchill had only 208 yards coming into the game as Ronnie's look in his direction again, caught by Churchill at the Salt Lake 17. They have no answer for Mike Churchill. None whatsoever. Final play in, well, there's going to be a delay of game. St. Louis thought they could just run out the clock on him. And on third down, Simeon is stopped short. Brennan Allen, yet another terrific catch for Minnesota's defense. And that'll force a punt out of the Skyhawks, protecting a 14-3 lead. Shai Ronnie dropping a throw into coverage. That is incomplete. Never hauled in. Handoff to Junior McCray, and that is the end of the game in New Orleans. A 41-13 beatdown by St. Louis, their first convincing win of the year, and the Rivermen improved to 3-1. That puts pressure on Miami, who is 2-1, tied with them or now a half game behind them in the East Division. Rivermen scored 21 in the fourth quarter. Payne Price, first down to the 16-yard line as San Diego is back in the red zone. They scored a touchdown on their first drive, and they potentially could score a touchdown on their second. San Diego playing angry after they blew a 28-7 lead against Los Angeles last week. Lost that game 42-34. Shai Ronnie on a third down. That pass is incomplete. And it's 4th down for Austin. It'll be a 33-yard field goal from this distance. And that would be a new number off the board once again. St. Louis 3-1, New Orleans 1-3. And the Claws have some work to do heading into next week. Minnesota is backed up deep after a holding penalty. Now it's 3rd down and long with 5:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. This is a 33-yard field goal for Austin. And that 33-yard field goal is up and good. So 7-6 or 6-7 in the Salt Lake game. Doug Falk over the middle on a 3rd and long, and Phoenix's defense does it again. Let's go to Miami where Zach Holdorf is trying. How was that not intercepted? They're still fighting for the ball, actually. But simultaneous possession goes to the offense, and that is the end of the day in New Orleans. Third down and 8 at the 14-yard line. That pass is caught for San Diego, but it's 4 yards short of the sticks. We got Vegas and Wichita kicking off in 5 minutes. So we'll actually have an empty box here for a minute, which is the first time that has happened here on the Gauntlet, as that field goal from San Diego is a 26-yard field goal. The numbers are all over the map today. 33 and 26, your latest numbers off the board. I got numbers all over the place. That's 25 called numbers now in the Game Day Gauntlet, including 2 bonus numbers. Jay Carter in a 7-6 ball game. Just got Salt Lake up with 23 seconds to go in the first half. We've got numbers coming up for you when we get back into the triple box. I've been telling you, like, to keep up with the numbers as we've been calling them. I don't have a spot for numbers in that corner of the screen, because usually we're kicked off in our 5th game on the Gauntlet. You know, sometimes timing is not exactly perfect. 3:10 to go in the 3rd quarter. DJ Simeon to the 16-yard line, 17-yard line, picking up a first down to the Minnesota 17 into the red zone. That's a 100-yard day for DJ Simeon. Justice Adams in the house, and San Diego almost had a pick 6 there. 15 seconds to go in the first half. Jay Carter throws it deep. That pass is caught, and a flag on Austin. And that is important because it stops the clock and preserves a timeout for the Salt Lake Hornets down to the Austin 14-yard line. Phoenix is in the red zone at the 17-yard line of Minnesota. Joe Tillo dropping a throw. That pass is caught down to the 4 for Phoenix. Salt Lake in the end zone. Touchdown, Mia Pangori. Salt Lake takes a bigger lead just before the half, a 14-yard score. And it's 13-6 Salt Lake over Austin in the first half. And they did throw a pick 6. Miami almost threw a pick 6 and then did throw a pick 6. What is going on with the Miami offense? That was a 22-yard return touchdown from 4 yards out from Phoenix. 22 and 4 already off the board, but DJ Simeon now with his 2nd touchdown of the day. 14-6 Salt Lake, and it's about to be 21-3 Phoenix. Miami digging themselves a hole, 17-3. San Diego, just like they did last week against Los Angeles, comes out guns blazing. They had 28-7 advantage. Vegas and Wichita kicking off momentarily. The last 3
called bingo numbers were 26, 33, and 30. 21-3 Phoenix, 17-3 San Diego, 14-6 Salt Lake, and Vegas Wichita is kicking off in a matter of moments. Our final kickoff of the Game Day Gauntlet. How about Salt Lake? What a great first half. Crone has started 5 of 8 of 56 yards and a pick for Miami. Rob Crone so far this season is 9th in the league in passing yards, 296.7 per game, 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions as Boletsky is wrapped up, just 7 yards on 3 carries for him. They have hit the half in Salt Lake. The Hornets, a stellar first half of play, averaging more yards per play than Austin. And honestly, Austin's only offense has been Mike Churchill. No one else has showed up to the game. I guess Shirani. For the Austin Lone Stars, that was a beautiful catch from Churchill, marked down at the 1-yard line. I still don't know how that happened. Doug Falk takes a sack. How about Phoenix today? They are bouncing back in a big way. Tillo did throw a pick at the end of the first half. But every time I look up there, as Buck Wild's got a catch for Miami up to midfield, every time I look in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, Minnesota's in a 2nd or a 3rd and long. It has been messy today. Phoenix is 1 quarter away from securing their first win of the season. So here we go. From Wichita, Kansas, the 5th game of the Game Day Gauntlet as the Wichita Flyers and the Vegas Devils, both 1-2 in their respective conferences, looking for a major win today in Kansas. Start of the second half in Salt Lake. Austin's going to get the football. And off to Mike Woodstone. Woodstone breaks off a tackle. There goes Mike Woodstone. Woodstone down the sideline. 75 yards. Touchdown, Austin. Woodstone with the 5th longest run of the season and his longest run of the season. And it gets Austin right back within striking distance right at the start of the second half. Just breaking it, 1 tackle in the backfield. Nico right way with a stellar block down the field. We are underway in Wichita. Vegas is going to get the football first. Mac Chima is the quarterback over there. Tillo sets up a screen. Look at the blocking from Phoenix's defenders for DJ Simeon to spring loose. Mac Chima fires a deep shot to start the game, and that pass is incomplete. Anthony, it is not just you. 4 teams in the West are above 500. 3 teams in the East are above 500. So the West is off to a little bit of a better start so far this season. End of the 3rd quarter in Phoenix as the Skyhawks, the last winless team in the West, is in command right now over Minnesota, 21-3. Miami's offense stalled. They had to punt it away, but they forced San Diego inside their own 10. Austin went for a 2-point conversion and failed, so no 13 comes off the board, and 12 was already off the board. And Boletsky frustrated with Crone's just dump-offs today. And a frustrating start to the day for the Miami Pirates, down 17-3 to San Diego. Chris Allure, 10 carries for 55 yards, but he just watched his running mate go for 75. 3rd down and 11 for Vegas, and Clutch Grab has a first down for Las Vegas to keep the drive moving. DJ Simeon is having a day. First down on the Minnesota 34-yard line. 123 rushing yards for Simeon. We'll get an idea of who's had the most rushing yards this season
But Jay Carter's got an open receiver down to the 43-yard line for a first down. That's Pangori again, a 31-yard catch. Jay Carter knowing just where he wanted to go with the football. Deep down the field, that's Ari Mills, who had 2 fumbles at the end of the game last week against Los Angeles. He does not fumble there, and San Diego is back into Miami territory. Zach Holdorf and the Wildcat offense, they have come to play today. Pangori, 71 yards on 3 catches so far. .123 would be good enough for 9th most rushing yards in a game this season by any player. That is DJ Simeon. As Payne Price takes a handoff again, San Diego has a first down. 6 carries for 52 yards, 9:23 to go in the first half. Simeon again to the 16-yard line. 8:25 to go. Phoenix can really put this thing away with another touchdown. 3rd down and 8 for Salt Lake, up 14-12. Jay Carter from the Austin 40-yard line fires, and way too much zip on that ball. Joe Tillo over the middle, and he gets it down to the 2-yard line. 24. Is that 24 of 30? If that is 24 of 30 out of Joe Tillo. Touchdown San Diego. What is going on? The Wildcats. A jump ball into the end zone. Sir Jefferson. Salt Lake is trying a 57-yard field goal, and that kick is wide right. That was a 36-yard Zach Holdorf touchdown. 36 is off the board. Jack Nitro's got Vegas down to the Wichita 39-yard line. 1st and goal for Joe Tillo, and Phoenix touchdown from 2 yards out. Andy Sands with the score. And the numbers are flying off the board. Last 3 called numbers, 26, 36, and 2. Phoenix scores again. Austin's got the football back to Woodstone, 14-12. Austin down 2, but they have the momentum here in the 3rd quarter. Zach Holdorf's numbers so far this year. He has 699 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions coming in. 24-3 San Diego after they jumped out to a 28-7 lead last week. But remember, they lost that game 42-34. Look at the Phoenix Skyhawks celebrating on the sideline. 28 is a new called number. 28 is off the board as Phoenix now leads Minnesota 28-3. The Skyhawks having a coming out party. Everybody playing well today. Just 1 interception from Joe Tillo after adjustments made this week. Jack Nitro's got a 3rd and short coming up for Vegas. Their opening drive is still going. Over 5 minutes now. Rob Crone play action. He is sacked. It's 3rd and long Miami. What a disaster. And that is San Diego's newcomer who had the fumble 6 last week, Tyler Adams, making the sack on Crone. Okay, that's my last one, Peter. I won't say it again. All right, let's go to Salt Lake. 2nd down and 6. Austin's at the Salt Lake 36-yard line. 7:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. And right now, the left side of the screen are our close games. Deep shot for Miami. That ball is caught by Buck Wild at the San Diego 19. Miami needs more of that. Mike Churchill with a catch into the red zone for Austin. He has been spectacular for the Lone Stars. Churchill is now up to, I'm waiting for his updated numbers. They're going to come across your screen here in just a moment. We got to look at this season's high for receiving yards. DR Simeon with 199 is the record holder. Miami's down to the 15-yard line. Oh, we did not get a report on Churchill's updated yardage. 1st and 10 at the 16. That pass is caught down to the 4. 1st and goal for Austin.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
3rd down and 6 for Vegas. Their drive will not continue. They hold the ball for over 6 minutes. Mike O'Neal can't make the catch. And it's going to be a Vegas field goal from 35 yards away. Beletsky buried in the backfield. Miami's got to block somebody. Phoenix going for it on 4th and short. Minnesota, rather, that is. And they get the first down. There's just 6:24 to go in that game. 14-12, Salt Lake by 2. Ronnie going to hand it off to Woodstone. Woodstone cuts inside. Another 4-yard score. Austin has back-to-back scores in the 3rd quarter. Check that. It's not the 35-yard field goal is good. It's not Woodstone. It's his backup. Minnesota's got a first down to the Phoenix 29-yard line. And we got Terrell Cooper in the end zone. Touchdown for Miami. Crone on a little play fake. He was wide open. And Miami finally gets something going here as Minnesota's got the ball now inside the 10-yard line. Crone to Cooper, number 19 for 19 yards. And we're trying to cover all the action here. That extra point is good. We got a 1st and goal for Minnesota. 19 was a bonus number earlier today. So let's go with 46 as another bonus number here. As 19 is now an official number. Doug Falk had to throw that one away. Wichita's got the ball for the first time today. Austin elects to just kick the extra point, so it's 19-14. So we had 2 19s come off the board. BK Solberg is sacked by Alves. 2nd and goal for Minnesota. That is a 7-yard touchdown, and the Chippers are finally in the end zone. That's Hawkins with the catch. All right, Salt Lake's got to turn some things around. Austin has 13 unanswered points in the 3rd quarter, and Chris Allur's only got 4 yards on his first 3 carries in the 3rd. Miami stopped the bleeding as they pick up a 19-yard touchdown to Terrell Cooper. So it's 24-10. San Diego on top of Miami. You see Price's updated numbers there. 6 for 52. The extra point for Minnesota is up and good. 10 was already off the board. We've had 29 called numbers, including 2 bonus numbers today here on the Game Day Gauntlet. Let's go to Salt Lake. 2nd down and 6. This is Jay Carter zipping that one for a first down. He might throw the fastest fastball in the UFL. 3rd down and 19. Joshua Durr mentioned that Harper Dew had 4 solo tackles on that opening drive against Vegas. Now it's 3rd and long for Wichita, and they're not going to get out of it. Vegas gets a stop. Handoff, Chris Allure, right side. Oh, he Houdini'd the defender. Chris Allure picking up near a first down. Onside kick recovered by Minnesota. That's the 2nd onside kick recovery today. So the Chippers have the football at the 47-yard line. 5:13 to go. Minnesota is not letting it go in Phoenix. On a 2nd down and short, Allure's got a first down. 15 carries for 70 yards. And Wichita's got a punt. You know what we haven't seen this year in the UFL? A blocked punt. We are in week 4, and we still haven't seen one. We saw plenty in 2025, and nothing has been changed in that regard as Doug Falk's going to take off. He lost the ball, and it's scooped up by Phoenix. Turnover Minnesota following the onside kick. And the Skyhawks will take over. Vegas takes over after the Wichita punt and hands it off to Jack Nitro. This is a handoff to Chris Allure, again running right, but not much room there, and it's going to be 3rd down. Rob Crone, 10 of 14, 165 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. The excitement is building. 55 of you watching. Joe Tillo is 25 of 31. Remember, guys, he was 1 of 6. He has completed 24 of his last 25 passes en route to this 28-10 advantage. And there goes DJ Simeon down the sideline again. 148 yards for Simeon. Carter on a 3rd down, and they are just short of the sticks. What is Salt Lake going to do on a 4th and 2 in Austin territory? First down for Miami as San Diego once again started hot, but here come the Pirates now, down just 2 scores. Doug Falk upset with himself after that last fumble. 383 yards for Phoenix with 4:39 to go in the 4th quarter. Yeah, so frustrating, Anthony. Look at Simeon again. 167 for Simeon, and Salt Lake is going to punt. DJ Simeon, who had, I think, 12 rushing yards last week. 167 on the day. 3rd down for Miami with 3:05 to go in the first half.
Let's go. 10 Lobo.
And that is caught for a first down. So a really rough start for Miami, but that's another Terrell Cooper catch. Vegas is back across the 50, and Mike Woodstone and Austin is back to work with a 5-point lead with 1:43 to go in the 3rd quarter. Yeah, the chippers fall off. Has to be very frustrating. As Joe Tillo drops to throw, he's got another completion to the 13-yard line. Tillo has been on point. The only, as Vegas gets into the red zone, Mike O'Neal with a nice catch. The only incompletion for Joe Tillo was that pick. That pick at the end of the 2nd quarter. It's been a masterful afternoon for Tillo, shaking off a slow start. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line for Tillo, trying to put more points on the board. He takes another check down to Simeon, who's had a great day receiving as well. False start for Miami. They're backing up with 2:02 to go in the first half. 45 seconds to go in the 3rd. It's been all Austin in the 3rd quarter, taking a 5-point lead. Woodstone, shifty in the backfield. He's got 135 yards on 16 carries. Joe Tillo, 2nd down and 7, 2:05 to go. Tillo in zone, incomplete. And there's his 2nd since the 1-6 start. I think that was DR Simeon in the back of the end zone. Shy Ronnie over the middle. That pass is incomplete. Now it's 3rd down for Austin. Chima takes a dump off. Nitro to the 25-yard line of Wichita. Timeout for San Diego as they hope to get the ball back. Tillo is going to take a sack, and we've hit the 2-minute warning in Phoenix. Let's go to 3rd down and 5 for Shy Ronnie going deep down the field. Intercepted. Salt Lake finally gets some momentum to the 46-yard line. That pass is intercepted by Trevante James. Oh, great punt from Miami down to the 2-yard line. And Phoenix just booted in a field goal. That is a 34-yard field goal already off the board, but 31 is not. So 31 is your next number. The last 4 numbers that have been called, 2, 28, 19, and 31, plus a bonus number. Jay Carter, incomplete. Now San Diego is at their 2-yard line, and the handoff goes to Payne Price. He's got a lot of space. First down for San Diego. They get out of a jam. End of the first quarter in Wichita. 3-0 Vegas over the Flyers. And Wichita has hardly had the football. So 3-touchdown lead for Phoenix with 1:53 to go in that one. Jay Carter is nailed, and that ball fell to the turf, incomplete. 3rd down and 10. Chima on a 3rd down and 11 finds Jack Nitro. Nitro breaking off a tackle, but he cannot score. A 31-yard attempt for Vegas coming. 31 and 6 already off the board. Zach Huldorf on a 1st down and 10, up 24-10. Deep shot down the sideline, knocked into the 3rd row. And on 3rd down and 10, the drive stalls out for Salt Lake. Jay Carter can't find anybody open, and Salt Lake's going to have to punt. Off the interception, that is a very disappointing end to that drive for the Salt Lake Hornets. Doug Falk looking for some
Garbage time yards. He's got a huge completion up to the 39. Vegas' field goal from 31 is good. 6-0 Devils on top of the Flyers. Let's get you another bonus number. How about 47? 47, your third bonus number of the day. That is our 31st called You-Go number. Remember, you need a touchdown. There's Tyler Falk finally. He has been so quiet today, getting it down to the 16-yard line. You need a touchdown. So that's the uprights, the crossbar, and then the two poles. Deep shot, Austin, 77 yards. Mike Churchill, touchdown. That is 19 unanswered points for Austin and their superstar receiver, number 19, Mike Churchill. It has been all Austin in the second half. And you could hear a pin drop in this stadium. If you can believe it, that was the third 77-yard reception of the season. That is the clubhouse leader right now for longest reception this season. 26 is off the board. That's already a called number. 26-14 Austin. No huddle for Minnesota with 38 seconds to go as Falk's pass is out of the back of the end zone. Miami has one timeout left. They're trying to score before the half. Oh, that almost looked like that was intercepted. Another pass into the flat. Miami is going to just rip up that portion of the playbook this week if they can't come back and win this game. Doug Falk, a dangerous ball to the sideline. That one is complete to the 4. Deep shot, Buck Wild. There goes Wild down the sideline. And it's a 77-yard score. Are you kidding me? That is the fourth 77-yard receiving touchdown of the season in 4 weeks. And Miami scored 14 unanswered to make it a one-score game before the half. Oh, my goodness. Anthony talking about St. Louis and Austin potentially meeting up. That game is May 31st, towards the back half of the season. You won't want to miss it. Minnesota's going to kick a 21-yard field goal to make it 31-13. 13 is a new number off the board. (24-17) Miami. Yeah, it is, Mark. And guys, everybody, I want everybody to give I want everyone to give Mark Lopez a round of applause. Mark Lopez has been helping us automate our stats on the website. And while we're not we don't have 100% of the problems solved, we have 98% of the problems solved. And now, starting tonight, you will see the box scores. Oh, Austin just got an interception. And there they go. The Lone Stars dominating the second half to potentially remain undefeated. Touchdown, Austin, a 60-yard return. The Lone Stars cannot be stopped. Randy Parker with the takeaway. Salt Lake led 14-6 at the half. Wow. Third and 21 for Mac Chima and the Vegas Devils, up 6-0, and that had no chance of being completed, so Wichita is going to get the ball back. 1 second to go in Miami. San Diego led 24-3, and here we are again. The Wildcats blowing a 21-point first half lead just before the break, and now they lead by just 7. Austin goes up 33-14.
DJ Simeon is the player of the game in Phoenix, 169 receiving yards. As Phoenix gets a much-needed win, now Rochester is the only winless team left in the UFL.
Let's go. 50, plant. Right there, 54 Mike. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take
DJ Simeon with 169 rushing yards. That is third most of any player this season in a game. And we're about to get your triple box and all your bingo numbers back as Phoenix and Minnesota have wrapped up 31-13. A couple of blowouts here to start the game day gauntlet, and Austin has pulled away from Salt Lake 33-14. They have scored 27 unanswered points in the third quarter. Yeah, Rochester and New York on Monday night primetime played New York very close twice last season. Those games were epic. We got BK Solberg getting a first down throw to the 27-yard line, so Wichita finally kind of on the move here. We go to the triple box and we get your numbers back. So now I want to know from everyone where your numbers stand. Where do your numbers stand? And how close are you to getting that field goal pole as our bingo shape of the day? BK Solberg on a play-action rollout. He's got all kinds of time, and he fires it down to the 5-yard line for a first and goal, Wichita Flyers. Miles is 3 numbers away. Juan needs 4 more. Still 3 games left. We're in the fourth quarter in Salt Lake, the third quarter in Miami, the second quarter in Wichita. Twiggy needs 3. 3 numbers for Justin Reside from a field goal pole. Buck Wild wins a jump ball. And a penalty marker. Oh, it's a hold, and it moves Wichita back on RJ Gilmer, back to the 12-yard line. Ooh, 4 numbers, 3 numbers, 2 numbers. Salt Lake is in the red zone, and boy, do they need to put together a touchdown drive here. Salt Lake's got to stop the bleeding. They're at the 9-yard line. 9 has not been called. Salt Lake in the no huddle with 9:10 to go. Miami's got the football back, down just 7. Jay Carter whips one into the end zone. Touchdown from 9 yards out. And number 9 is the next number off your card. Mia Pangori, her second touchdown of the afternoon, as she celebrates with a touchdown dance. 33-20, Salt Lake cuts the deficit down to 13. Bovine Jr. with a catch for Miami. How about the Pirates? I mean, they got down 24-3 quick, and they're 47 yards away, 53 yards away from tying the game, as Rob Crone's pass to the sideline is caught. First down for Miami. That's Doc Holliday with the reception. BK Solberg's pass is overthrown. Now it's 3rd and goal from back at the 18-yard line. And for a game that was 14-6 at the half, we've now got a shootout in Utah. 33-21 is the score. Salt Lake down just 12. Solberg on a 3rd down and goal from 18 yards away, and that almost was a touchdown. Timothy Shea down to the 4, handoff to Boletsky on a draw to the 32-yard line, picked up 2. $10 super chat from Mark Lopez. Cam, let's give the fans some more love. Lots of players need 4 more numbers. I'd say let's cross 44 off of everyone's board. You know, that is true. I did see a lot of 44s. I think with all that Mark Lopez did for us on the back end of the site, I agree. 44 is your fourth bonus number of the day. And the field goal from Wichita, stop me if you've heard this before, a 21-yard field goal attempt is up and good for Wichita, and it's now 6-3. First down Miami at the 22-yard line. They are driving. San Diego's got to hold on here for dear life as Miami tries to complete a comeback. Deep shot, and that is caught. Unbelievable. This time it's not Mike Churchill, it's Brosias. We have not heard a lot from Mika Friday today for Austin. Like I said, Mike Churchill's just completely dominated this game. That pass is caught by Doc Holliday down to the 6-yard line. Check that Green with the reception for Miami. They are 6 yards away from a tie after they trailed San Diego by 21. It's a nightmare scenario again for the Wildcats. 7:56 to go in the fourth quarter. Handoff Mike Woodstone. Woodstone's got a first down. Salt Lake in desperate need of a stop here. 4:45 to go in the first half. Vegas leads 6-3 over Wichita. That's a nice ball over to Mike O'Neill on the sideline. 7 of 13 for Mac Chima today. Oh, Anthony, I can't give you the other bonus numbers. That's why they're called bonus numbers. Second and goal at the 7. Rob Crone dropping to throw. Crone's pass caught at the sideline down to the 5. That is, I believe, Beletsky out of the backfield. But another pass, Bovine Jr. rather, another pass into the flats. Or Crone, third and goal at the 5. Brosias again with another catch for Austin. Can Miami punch it in and tie the game after trailing 24-3? Jack Nitro's got Vegas into Wichita territory. As Shirani's going to let it rip, and it's caught. Touchdown! Oh my goodness! What a ball to Annie Beaverhausen from 32 yards away. That's a new number off the board. And Miami's got a touchdown from 5 yards out there, an extra point away from tying the game. Green again. Beaverhausen gets loose. I tell you what, who is that? Trevante James of Salt Lake struggling today against the top receivers of Austin, and the Lone Stars about to hang 40 on the Hornets. The field goal, the extra point is good, and actually 24 is now off the board. It was off the board when San Diego got it, but we are all tied at 24 in Miami with 6:12 to go in the third quarter. It was 24-3 in the first quarter. 6:45 to go in the fourth. Austin leads Salt Lake 40-21, trying to stay unbeaten and be the first team to get to 4-0 on the young UFL season. 2 minutes to go in Wichita, 6-3 Vegas, and the Devils are across the 50-yard line. Yes, Anthony, if they get called later, then you get them and we give out another bonus number. So, yes, that would be the hope for you. 40-21, Austin is on top. 6:42 to go in the fourth quarter. How about the Miami comeback? Now we're 0-0 up in the upper right-hand corner. That game has been exciting from start to finish. Vegas's drive is going to stall out on a 4th down and 9. Let's go back to Jay Carter, who's got Payne Price up to 96 yards, but Carter 2 touchdowns and a pick. 6:42 to go. Salt Lake's going to be in the no huddle here as they try to work the ball down the field. They're going to start with a 4-yard pickup on the sideline. 352 yards for Salt Lake today, but it would appear that it's going to come in a loss. Peter says, how do we keep blowing leads? Man, I don't know. And this one was blown quickly. Didn't even take the fourth quarter to lose that 21-point deficit. 5:42 to go in the third. San Diego's got a 2nd down and 5. Going to hand it off to Payne Price. And Price only picks up 3. Oh, that pass is caught. What a play. There goes Timothy Shea. 86 yards. It's the longest catch of the year. Wichita touchdown. Oh, that might have been the greatest play of the season. Upper left-hand corner. The ball goes off the helmet of the intended target, Morris, and Timothy Shea goes all the way to the house. Oh my goodness gracious. Doink. Oh, it went off a shoulder pad. Right into the hands of Timothy Shea. Wichita takes a 10-6 lead. And on 4th and inches, Miami just got the stop, and San Diego's got to punt the football. Unbelievable. Oh, man. The UFL is tremendous. San Diego pins Miami inside the 10-yard line, and the extra point is up and good for Wichita. 10-6. No new numbers off the board, but wow, Timothy Shea. 2nd down and 8, and Salt Lake is near a 1st down. They got to go. 5.5 to play. Rob Crone, play action fake, going to take off and run! And they call it a safety! Wow, Zach Cobb, I believe, on the safety for San Diego. Salt Lake is inside the 20. It was Zach Cobb. I don't know that Rob Crone, was he not out of the end zone? Oh, the ball was in his other hand. Oh, that's a bad safety. Miami comes all the way back, only to give up a safety there, and San Diego takes a 26-24 lead in Miami. Jay Carter almost squeezed that one in there. 2nd down at the Austin 17-yard line. So now San Diego's going to get the football back with 4:23 to go, and they protect their lead. Jack Nitro, 54 yards on 18 carries. As Chris Allure gets the ball up to the 8-yard line, 4:38 to go. 8 is not a number called. Oddly enough, the number 1 is not a number called, and we had multiple opportunities at the number 1 earlier in the ball game. Carter from 8 yards out. Jay Carter, end zone, touchdown, Salt Lake, and 8 is off the board. And it's Mia Pangori's 3rd of the day. Payne Price has a 1st down for San Diego. This has been the Pangori versus Churchill showdown in Salt Lake. Look at Mike O'Neal bouncing off a couple of tackles with 1:08 to go in the first half, and Vegas is not done. They scored a touchdown just before the break last week. Miami looks for a stop following the safety, 26-24. No huddle for Vegas with 55 seconds to go in the first half. And the extra point is coming for the Hornets. That ball deep from Mac Chima is incomplete. That is a hospital pass to David Glidden, and he is slow to get up. 4:22 to go in the 4th quarter. Salt Lake is not going away quietly. 40-28 is your shootout score. It was 14-6 at the half. We have seen 48 second-half points between Austin and Salt Lake today. Chima's pass is almost intercepted. That could have been a pick 6. 3rd down and 7. San Diego, Miami looking for a stop, and Holdorf's looking for it all. Down the field, it's caught, touchdown. What a throw! What a throw for Kyron Rucker. Zach Holdorf is out of his mind today. I mean, that was as pretty of a pass as you could possibly drop in the bucket, and San Diego, after giving up 21 unanswered, after giving up 21 unanswered, scores 9 straight. Well, 8 straight, pending the extra point. And that was a 46-yard touchdown pass. That was a previous bonus number, so your new bonus number is 40. Now it's 33-24 San Diego. BK Solberg, 6 of 9 for 163 yards after the Timothy Shea record setter. Off the shoulder pad of the defender. Now 36 seconds to go in the first half for Solberg. Can Salt Lake's defense finally get a stop in this second half? Mike Woodstone takes a carry around the left side, and he gets 8 on the play. So we've now had officially 38 called numbers. Only 13 numbers have not been called. As Wichita hands it off to Chris Delro. It's going to be Shy Ronnie on a little RPO on 3rd and 2. She picks up the first down and keeps the clock moving. The only numbers that have not been called. 40 was not off the board. Remember, Austin scored. Oh, yeah, 40. You're right. 40 is off the board because Austin got to 40. So 40 is off the board. So your next bonus number, we're going to go 29. 29 is your next bonus number. So we have 39 called numbers. There are only 12 numbers that have not been called. 1, 11, 15, 16, 25, 37, 39, 43, 45, 48, 49, and 50. Those are the numbers that have not been called. As Mike Woodstone has another first down. Salt Lake just cannot stop the Lone Star machine in the second half. How about this from Vegas? They take timeouts to get the football back, and they get a kick return or a punt return to the Wichita 41-yard line. And they still have 17 seconds left to make something happen. Timeout for Salt Lake. Boletsky is roughed up in the backfield as Miami trails by 9 after scoring 21 unanswered points in this game. Chima, 14 seconds left. He gets Vegas into field goal range. Clutch grab with the reception, and Vegas is going to get an opportunity at a 44-yard field goal just before the break. 44 has already been called. Mike Woodstone has a 3rd and inches for Austin. This is the moment for Salt Lake to get off the field if they want to do anything here, as Boletsky gets the ball up to the San Diego 49-yard line. Let's go back to Salt Lake, where this is a 3rd down and inches. 1 timeout left for Salt Lake. They got to get this stop here. 44-yard field goal attempt for Vegas. That is good. 10-9 just before the break. Ronnie's going to throw on 3rd and inches. Wide open. First down, Austin. The final timeout for Salt Lake. That ball deep from Rob Crone is incomplete on 3rd down, so it's 4th down. Miami's going to have to punt. What a wild game in San Diego. They go up 24-3. Then Miami ties the game at 24. And then San Diego gets a safety and a beautiful throw down the field to Kyron Rucker, his 2nd touchdown of the day, making it 33-24 San Diego. Austin is running out the clock. Oh, down to Salt Lake. He's at the 18-yard line. Whoa, a couple people only need 16 now. Can they get it from Austin here down the stretch? Zach Holdorf, 8 of 11, 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. Has been fantastic today. He also has a rushing touchdown. 32 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. It is halftime in Wichita. They have no rushing yards in the game, but they're averaging 9.6 yards per play. Handoff to Woodstone, and it's down to the 17-yard line. Mike Woodstone has also had a tremendous day on the ground. Joe Malone with a sack and a tackle today. Ernest needs 2 of those numbers. End of the 3rd quarter in Miami. What a wild game there as the Wildcats lead 33-24. Ronnie's going to throw. That pass is caught down to the 7-yard line. I'm really surprised that Austin threw there. Up 12, but it gets Beaverhausen another catch. Payne Price breaking off of tackles. Getting to the 39. Payne Price is over 100 yards today. And now the victory formation for Austin. They are going to win that game 40-28. Oh no, the Don without a bingo this whole year. 45 and 38 is what he needs. The handoff is a first down for San Diego, and we've started the second half in Wichita. The final kneel downs. Austin is going to improve to 4-0. They trailed at the half. They had an unbelievable run in the third and fourth quarter. Kick-started by Mike Woodstone's outstanding 75-yard touchdown run. Let's go to Miami now, where there's 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Miami needs a stop, 33-24. San Diego by 9, and Payne Price has dropped in the backfield. We've got a 33-24 game in Miami, a 10-9 game in Wichita as they just start the second half. Lone Stars score 34 of their 40 points in the second half, and Austin continues to look like a bona fide championship contender. Austin next is at Minnesota. Tough matchup there for the Chippers. They got to turn it around quick. And then Austin is at New York Sunday, May 3rd. That is set for the first game of a doubleheader on Coast to Coast. Wow, that's going to be a good one. 3rd down and 1 for Wichita. Up 10-9. That pass is caught. First down, Flyers. And San Diego's got a first down inside the 40. Breaking a tackle to the 32-yard line. 162 passing yards for San Diego as they continue their momentum. Orleans Armstrong on the catch, his second. Theodore Blackman, who coming into the day led all players in tackles. He had 36 total tackles. He ends up with 16 more tackles today as he is putting himself in position for Defensive Player of the Year candidate. And we are now officially done with Austin and Salt Lake. The 40-28 final. 2 games left here on the Game Day Gauntlet. It is San Diego on the move with 9:16 to go in the fourth quarter, up 33-24. Miami needs a stop. They're not going to get it with a running lane like that. Payne Price up to 147 yards on 25 carries, 9 minutes and counting there. BK Solberg over to the sideline, and that gets a couple. Holdorf dropping back. Holdorf going to take off and run. Holdorf slips inside the 10, down to the 5, and Zach Holdorf down to the 3-yard line. 68 yards on 3 carries for Zach Holdorf, and San Diego has 265 rushing yards today. They came in second in the UFL, only to Rochester, averaging 170.7 rushing yards.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line. Get it.
Play action for Zach Holdorf. Back of the end zone. It's caught, but there's a penalty marker. Rucker stepped out of bounds on 4th and 1. Wichita is going to choose to punt it away down to the 16-yard line. Holdorf from 3 yards out. Down to the 1. Could 1 hit? 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line for San Diego. Could the number 1 finally come off the board? Or can Miami get a stop? Holdorf going to drop to throw. Holdorf slant, touchdown. The number 1 is our 40th called number of the day, and it's Kyron Rucker again. And I misspoke earlier. I think that's his 2nd touchdown. San Diego goes up 39-24. Now 39 has not hit. Rob Ems just got a bingo. At least he believes he has a bingo. San Diego going for 2. Rob Ems. Oh, Holdorf is going to be taken down. I'll check Rob Ems' card in a moment, but that means that 39 is off the board. So 39 and 1 come off the board late here for San Diego. As the Wildcats tried to make it a 3-score game and put it out of reach, But Holdorf gets taken down by Rip Cuby, who's had kind of a quiet day, the UFL sack leader so far this year. And that keeps it a 2-possession game with 7:19 to go. Vegas on 4th and inches deep in their own territory. They will punt it away. Wow, how about that? 39 on a failed 2-point conversion. And Juan now needs 11. The drought is over for... Okay, so going back to Rob M's card. Yes, Rob M's got one. Just remember to put these into the Hugo channel. Wow, that's a great card from Coco. He had the touchdown goalpost and then some. The only numbers still yet to be called: 11, 15, 16, 25, 37, 43, 45, 48, 49, and 50. Those are the only numbers not yet called here on VFN Bingo today. Don't forget your cards reset, and then we go vertical for Coast to Coast, and those 2 games combined will give you your Coast to Coast bingo numbers, as Solberg's got a first down to Timothy Shea, the man of the hour, one of the best plays in UFL history. With that catch, and Wichita now leads Vegas 10-9, 5:55 to go in the 3rd quarter. Rob Crone's pass is caught. Miami's got to get work quickly with 6:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. Solberg is sacked. Did Justin Reside also hit a bingo today? No. Justin, you need 43 and 48. $46. Yes. I suppose so. At some point earlier today. 2nd and 18, 5:05 to go in the 3rd quarter. This is Solberg going over to RJ Gilmer, and Gilmer's got a first down to the 28-yard line. Wichita on the move, Miami on the move. Now Miami needs to score as quickly as possible. 6:06 to go. Down 39-24. They scored 21 unanswered points, and then San Diego has since scored 15 unanswered points. Crone back to throw in the no huddle. Rob Crone, deep shot down the sideline looking for Wild. That one was almost intercepted, but ruled incomplete. Solberg's got it at the 28 of Vegas, up 10-9. This is prime field goal territory, although Wichita now at the 22, so that takes us out of 40-yard field goal contention. Rob Crone going to take off and run, slide down to the 34-yard line. A field goal does not do Miami any good here. Hand off to Delro. 8 carries, 27 yards there. 3rd down and 4. 3rd down and 6 for Miami. Rob Crone to keep the drive alive. That pass is... Oh, Wild wasn't looking. Buck Wild had an opportunity to make the play there, and now it's 4th down Miami. To keep the drive alive, it hit Wild in the helmet. Timothy Shea up to 123 yards on 4 grabs. He's having a day for Wichita. 4th down and 6, Miami. Here on the Game Day Gauntlet, Crone dropping a throw, fires, keeps the drive alive to the 11-yard line. Miami not dead yet. 362 passing yards for Crone. That's Green's 3rd reception.
Hurry. Come on, let's get there. Sense of urgency. We've got to get this stopped.
Hand off to Delro down to the 10-yard line. Now it's Rob Crone dumping it off to Beletsky inside the 5, down to the 4. 4:38 and counting. 31st offensive play for Wichita. They have not been on the field too much offensively. Handoff doesn't go anywhere. Crone on 2nd down and 3. Fires to the back corner of the end zone. That is caught. Touchdown to Hill. And it's 39-30 now. An extra point will make this an 8-point game. 3rd and 7 for BK Solberg. He lost the ball. Picked up by Wichita's Big Ugly at the 20-yard line. That means that 37 could potentially hit on this Wichita field goal. What are the odds? There's a booth review with 4:23 to go. I think that touchdown's going to count for Hill. Did Miami score from the 11 just then? No. All right, I just wanted to be sure. They were at the 4. This is a 37-yard field goal for Wichita. Oh, it's almost blocked, and the kick is good, and 37 is off the board. Extra point is good for Miami. It's a one-score game there with 4:23 to go as the drama builds at the end of the game day gauntlet. And don't forget, UFL Coast to Coast tonight has some spectacular broadcasters and some spectacular matchups. It is Michael Turillo and Eric Vincent on the call of Los Angeles and Chicago. And it is Mike Daggs and Gerald Smith on the call of Dakota and Dallas, the championship rematch. And I'm told that Dakota specifically did not deck their stadium in 2025 UFL Champions flair because they wanted to do it the night that Dallas came to town. So you'll see the 2025 UFL Champions banner in the Dakota Stadium tonight. Can Miami get a stop? 1:17 to go in the third quarter in Wichita, 13-9. Yes, 46 is a special number, but 46 has not officially been called. It is a special number, though. 4:16 to go. Holdorf's going to throw. That pass is caught for a pickup of 7. Holdorf is 11 of 14. He has 5 total touchdowns, 2 rushing, I believe, 3 receiving. Ethan Flowers with that catch, his 3rd for Vegas, trailing 13-9 in Wichita. Did Porsche strike gold with a bingo? Yeah, with that 37. Got it. Wichita and Vegas both 1-2. Winner goes to 2-2. The loser goes to 1-3. The handoff for Payne Price has a first down to the 35-yard line, so Miami can't get off the field. Over 150 yards rushing for Payne Price. That is his season high, and it's the end of the third quarter in Wichita. Miami needs a stop. 1st and 10, 3:16 to go. They'll start burning timeouts with under 2:40 to play. They fake it to Payne Price, and Holdorf lets it rip, and he overthrew his intended target, Rucker. So now it's 2nd down, and the clock stops with 3:09 to go. 3rd down and 1 for Vegas. Chima against pressure. He got nailed, and clutch grab comes in clutch at the 26-yard line. Play fake again for Holdorf, and this time he connects Rucker to the Miami 47-yard line. The Pirates just can't find a defensive stop. 459 total yards for San Diego's offense, who so far this season 7th in the league, averaging 390 yards of offense a game. And they're going to add to that total today. Mac Chima out of the empty set here. 1st and 10 at the 26 of Wichita, trailing 13-9. Chima drops to throw. That pass is caught by Mike O'Neal at the 7-yard line. What a grab. Payne Price on the carry. Miami calls their first timeout. It's do or die now for the Miami Pirates. And Mac Chima gets the ball down to the 7-yard line. That is a ridiculous catch as Joshua Durr went for an interception. Mike O'Neal in traffic. Look at that beauty. Okay, yeah, that's, all right. I get what you're saying now, Coco. There you go. Hand off to Payne Price, did not get the first down. It's 3rd down and 4. Now, Jack Nitro not going to get any yardage. 16 could potentially hit if Vegas gets a touchdown and an extra point here with 10:03 to go in the 4th. 25 runs, 25 passes. This is a little wildcat out of Vegas. 3rd down and 4 for San Diego. Glidden keeps it on the Wildcat. He gets dropped for a loss of 1. 3rd and 4. Holdorf's going to throw. Holdorf's got a first down. Ari Mills, don't fumble. And Ari Mills is dragged down. Woo! San Diego's probably breathing a huge sigh of relief as Ari Mills holds on to that football. Now Miami's out of timeouts with 2:15 to go. San Diego could get a field goal out of this drive. Right now it'd be from 45. 3rd down and goal for Vegas at the 9-yard line. Chima dropping a throw. Chima looking, and he takes a sack. Back of the 16. That'd be a 33-yard field goal. Watkins with the takedown. Hand off to Price. That's going to get us to the 2-minute warning in San Diego. It'd be a 44-yard field goal from here at this point. Two-minute warning in Miami. A couple of nail-biters here to finish out the game day gauntlet. 39-31 San Diego over Miami. 8:46 to go in the 4th quarter. Wichita up 13-9. This field goal would make it 13-12. And the field goal is good for Vegas. 1-point game in Wichita with 8:36 to go in the 4th quarter. 3rd down and 9 yards to go from for San Diego. It'd be a 44-yard field goal from here. They still have to run it. There goes Payne Price. The game is over. Payne Price just sealed it. 180 yards on the ground for Payne Price today on 32 carries, and San Diego's going to hold on in Miami. Yes, Portia, you got it. Please make sure to post in the bingo channel. And Mojo, the 2 answers to your questions are no and no. 8:36 to go in the 4th quarter. 13-12. Wichita on top of Vegas. Wonky score there. Timothy Shea with the play of the day. The only touchdown in that game, an 85-yard score. Deflected off a shoulder pad. Vegas actually has more total yards than Wichita, 240 to 226. Victory formations in San Diego, or in Miami rather. The Wildcats, wow, they are having a heart attack kind of season, aren't they? They're going to improve to 2-2. That is a big win in the Western Conference as the East continues to struggle out of the gates. San Diego will next host Chicago and St. Louis. The St. Louis game, a Monday night primetime game. Meanwhile, Miami falls to 2-2 and behind St. Louis in the East, down to 3rd place. Miami will be at Vegas next week, and then they will host Dakota. That Vegas game is a coast-to-coast game with a kickoff of 7:30 p.m. Eastern in Vegas. Delrose got a first down for Wichita with 7:50 to play. I do want you to be successful. Wow, 6 more numbers with only 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to go. That is some tough luck, Anthony. But at least St. Louis got the big win today. What a game. San Diego holds on to beat Miami 39-31, and we'll get to Vegas and Wichita full screen for what looks to be an exciting conclusion of the game day gauntlet here today. 13-12. BK Solberg is going to be sacked. A loss of 9. Bailey with the takedown. 2nd and 19 coming up for Wichita. So Wichita has kind of an opportunity here because the East is struggling today. Miami lost. St. Louis picked up a win, but New Orleans also lost. If Wichita pulls out a win today, they would get to 2-2, and they would be tied for 3rd in the East Division. Now, if Vegas wins, they would get to 2-2. San Diego also got to 2-2 today, and Minnesota slid down. Salt Lake fell to 2-2. So Salt Lake, San Diego, and Vegas would all potentially be 2-2 if Vegas were to pick up a win. So we go to the photo finish here in Wichita with 6:49 to go. Who's it going to be, Wichita or Vegas? Kilgannon needs 4 to get a bingo. That's rough. You get 1,000 points for winning a Yugo, and that's intercepted. Solberg throws a pick to Karafel, the linebacker, and Vegas with 6.5 minutes to go just seized momentum in Kansas. You look at it, I don't know what Solberg is looking at there. Karafel is looking at him the whole way. And Solberg makes an ill-advised turnover. Now Vegas is in business. Will we get another number to hit? Still 6.5 to go, 13-12. Vegas is at the Wichita 41 off the interception, and Shima's pass is complete down to the 34. Shima 16 of 26 for 188 yards today. So far this season, Shima had 987 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Hasn't added to the touchdowns or picks today, but he is over 1,000 yards as Shima's pass to the sideline is off the... Did that hit Flowers in the helmet? We've had so many bouncing balls in this game. 5:51 to go in the fourth quarter. It'd be a 51-yard field goal from here, which wouldn't help anybody, but the 15 would. As Chima's pass is caught by Nitro, but he lost 2 yards. So now it's a 53-yard field goal to potentially take the lead, and they are going to kick it. This would give Vegas a 15-13 lead and get 15 off the board. Vegas's field goal is good. 15 comes off the board for Vegas. And the Devils get 3 points. Oh, that was so close. They get 3 points and take a 2-point lead. And with 5:13 to go in the fourth, it's 15-13. What are the odds of that? What a field goal. That is the second longest field goal of the season. A.J. Horn kicked a 57-yarder in week 1 against St. Louis. Now Peter needs a 45, and he's got bingo. 15-13. A field goal for Wichita gives them the number 16. And we now have just 8 non-called numbers here on the Game Day Gauntlet today. 244 to 237 in total yards in favor of Vegas. It has been a tight one all day long. B.K. Solberg dropping a throw. He is sacked again. This time it's Johnson with the takedown, and that is Vegas's 5th sack of the afternoon. Vegas led the league in sacks last season. And so far this season, Dakota has 17 sacks in 3 games, which is crazy. Vegas only had 4 sacks in their first 3 games coming into the day, so that was kind of surprising. They tack on 5 more, and they're now up to 9. Second down and 18 following the sack. Vegas's defense with all the momentum right now. Solberg dropping a throw. Solberg clean pocket. He checks it down and gets what he can. .428 to go in the fourth. Yeah, the Fisters are a menace. 3rd and 18, they're going to try to set up a screen to Delro, and he cannot break a tackle. He's still up. And it's going to be 4th and 19. Carafel had the interception on the last series, gets the tackle, and now Wichita has a decision to make here. 4th down and 19, deep in your own territory. I think you got to punt. I think you got to punt and play defense. So the punt is away, and Vegas will have the ball with the lead at their own 43-yard line with 3:49 to go in the fourth quarter. And don't forget, a reminder that we've got it UFL Coast to Coast tonight. Your card will reset. Vertical is the bingo tonight for, well, really the rest of the weekend. And we've got Los Angeles, Chicago coming up with Michael Turillo and Eric Vinson. And then we also have Mike Daggs and Gerald Smith on the call of the championship rematch between Dakota and Dallas. New York and Rochester comes up Monday night in primetime tomorrow, all right here on the Virtual Football Network. 2nd down and 8 for Vegas after the 2-yard run, and Jack Nitro is blown up and thrown backwards. Harper Dew, KC Reed, and Tarver in on the stop for Wichita. Now it's 3rd down and 10 with 3 minutes to go and counting as the Flyer defense tries to get the football back. Third down and 10. Can they make it happen? 2:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Vegas up by 2. Chima dropping a throw. Chima fires over the middle. Incomplete. Wichita saves all 3 of their timeouts. They're going to get the football back. The Flyers pick up a defensive stop. Both teams are 1-2. Not wanting to fall to 1-3. Vegas, a bobbled snap, and they get it away. We were just talking about that earlier today, that we've not had a block punt yet this season across the UFL, and here comes BK Solberg. 8 of 11 for just 56 yards in the second half. Of course, Wichita's really only had that one big play today, the deflected ball to Timothy Shea for 85 yards and a score. Solberg over the middle. Timothy Shea makes 3 people miss, and Vegas just pulled down a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that'll put the Flyers up to the 38-yard line.
We play to win.
Automatic first down.
And that stops the clock with 2:21 to go in the fourth quarter.
Come on, set. 8, read. 54.
Solberg out of the empty. BK down the field, caught again. R.J. Gilmer down to the Vegas 42-yard line. Wichita up to 260 yards as Vegas tries to hang on to their slim lead. Just Gilmer's second catch of the day. We appreciate all of you watching the Game Day Gauntlet today. 46 of you watching this thriller at the end. Vegas and Wichita at the 42-yard line. Both teams with all 3 of their timeouts. Draw play, Chris Delro. He picks up 8 yards. That'd be a 51-yard field goal from here, but potentially more importantly, a Wichita field goal takes 16 off the bingo card.
On the ball, come on.
Check Mike 57, Mike 57.
2nd down and 2. Solberg to throw. That is knocked away. What a stellar play by the Vegas defense. Stephon Bledsoe with the knockaway. 3rd down and 2. 1:37 to go, 4th quarter. Solberg going to throw. Solberg to the sideline. Caught by Timothy Shea. Down to the 19. 150 yards on 6 catches for Timothy Shea. Shea, in his first 3 games, had 154 yards, and he's got 150 today. Now Wichita is in field goal range, and Vegas will have to start calling timeouts to preserve the clock. Hand off to Delro, and there come the timeouts. Why? Because the UFL is legit. That's why. Second and 8. Vegas has got to get off the field and give their offense a chance. You see Chris Phillips out there,
70, Indy.
captain of this defense, along with Landry Williams and Tyrone Johnson up front. Actually, Tyrone Johnson on the line. My mistake. 2nd down and 8. Of course, Carful with the interception earlier. Vegas got a field goal off of it. The handoff is going to be well short of a 1st down, so Vegas will call a 2nd timeout. Now what do you do here on 3rd and 8 if you're Wichita? It'd be a 34-yard kick from here, so I think the yardage is kind of out the door.
Ready?
3rd down, 8 yards to go. Do you try to end it here? Take a risk? Nope, they're just going to hand it off. Vegas is going to call a timeout, but that's going to give the Devils an opportunity to get the football back with no timeouts. All they would need is a field goal. But for Wichita, this is a 34-yard field goal that would put them up 16-15, and that 16 could mean a bingo for a lot of people. 34-yard field goal for Wichita to go up 1. That kick is good, and 16's off the board. How about 16 and 15 coming off the board down the stretch here on the Game Day Gauntlet? Vegas has 1 shot. No timeouts, 1:18 to go. A very tough position on the road for any team to be in. Ernest McCray thanking Wichita. What do you got, Devils, on the road? From the 1-yard line on the return. Haven't had a kick return touchdown yet in the UFL this season either. $1:14 left. All eyes on Vegas right now with 1:14 to play. Three receivers, trips off the left side. Or bunch off the left side, rather. This is Chima dropping a throw. Chima will take a check down to Nitro. That is not what you need right now. 10-second runoff, under a minute to go, 2nd and 7. Make sure to post your bingos in the channel no more than 30 minutes after the broadcast to get your credit. 2nd and 7. Chima over the middle. That is a 5-yard completion. It's just not enough. What are we doing? Just drop the ball. 40 seconds to go. Not good 2-minute offense here from the Vegas Devils. Chima, 32 seconds left. No, you can't throw that to Nitro. What are we doing? Boy, that's good. That is definitely going to be something that Vegas is going to look at this week because it's just check down city, and some teams have already ditched that. You just can't do that. 15 seconds left. It's 4th down. Chima's got to go, and he's got to go quick, and it's picked off, intercepted, and taken back to the crib. Touchdown, Wichita. Tyrone Clausen, a 37-yard return. No, not a 43, a 37-yard return. Touchdown, Flyers are going to win this game. Oh, that was so close to being a 43-yard pick six. Looking for Mike O'Neill, and that was just about as disastrous of a 2-minute offense that you can have. That's a playbook issue. And no, not a 43-yard pick six. 7 seconds left. Wichita is going to make this 23-15. And now Vegas has even less time to pull off a miracle. He jumped from the 43. No, we can't count it. We've had people, we've had Yugos today. I may have counted it if no one else had gotten one. All right, 7 seconds left. What does Vegas have left in the tank after a terrible 2-minute set? 4 seconds left. Just got to give it the old heave-ho. Chima going to drop the throw. Chima lets it go. And we got a flag. We saw this in week 1 between St. Louis and Dakota. That's a spot foul, and it's going to put Vegas on the 14-yard line. An untimed down. Vegas has a chance to tie with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Chima's got to go to the end zone, and there's a flag, and he throws it. Another check down. It's a hold. It won't matter. And Vegas bungles away an opportunity to get to 2-2. Wichita holds on to win 23-15. Oh, an ugly end for Vegas today. And they will definitely have that to work on this week as Wichita improves to 2-2. Whoa, cue the outro. Woo, what a day here on the Game Day Gauntlet. Your final scores. Wichita takes down Vegas 23-15. San Diego tops Miami 39-31. Austin pulled away from Salt Lake 40-28. We also saw in the early moments of the Game Day Gauntlet, St. Louis beat New Orleans 41-13. And then it was Phoenix all over Minnesota today. What did that end up? 31-10? It seems like forever ago. A tragic ending for Vegas, but you know what? The UFL always gets better. And situationally, Vegas will get better there too. 23-15 the final. That is a tough break for Vegas, falling to 1-3 in a very competitive West. But Wichita takes full advantage, and they improve to 2-2. And, you know, they only lost to Dallas last week on the road by 6. So Wichita off to a pretty good start this season. Harper Dew finished with 15 total tackles. He was everywhere all day long. There's your final numbers. And that's a wrap.
And here we are back at the Virtual Football Network studios. Thanks everybody for watching the Game Day Gauntlet. I'm UFL co-founder Cameron Irvine. This has been a presentation of the UFL and the Virtual Football Network. From all of us here in this great league and this great operation, thank you for watching. And Coast to Coast comes your way in about an hour and 10 minutes from now. LA at Chicago, Dallas at Dakota. Your cards do not reset in between those two games, but they do reset at the start of LA Chicago. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Just come on back in about 70 minutes. Have a great day, everybody, and thanks for surviving the Game Day Gauntlet.